Hello, hello, hello. Hey, my beauties. How are you? It is Viv here and getting a little bit of a slightly later start. I think I had said 2:30. Welcome from the future and welcome if you're here live right now. How are you doing? I was just getting myself ready for you. And just as I get ready and I'm sitting down, my neighbor's dog, this big dog, sweet dog, and then the little like vicious chihuahua that I talk about that hates me, hates everybody. The big dog anyway starts barking and I'm like, "Oh my god, quiet the whole day." The moment I'm going live, big dog starts barking, right? So, welcome, welcome, welcome to my live today, Sunday, and the topic today is I really wanted your feedback, okay? I really, really wanted your feedback on what does the divine feminine mean to you? And the reason I'm asking that, like, what does it mean to you, the viewer? Okay. And I'll tell you why I'm asking that in a second, but say hi as you come in. Don't be shy. I took that from Stephanie Perry, and which I always liked, like, say you're here. Don't just, and so who is here? The internet savior is here. And yes, I'll put you up there. Really short little comment of the heart. Hey, how are you? And the lotus. I love that. I actually think I've used that very lotus image. Did you get that from Canva? Did you find that in Canva by any chance? It just looks like this specific one I might have used. It's very pretty. So I did a survey of my community, and I was asking, as I'm getting ready to travel for a bit, and this is something I should have been doing anyway, is I wanted to put my programs and courses, like make them um, partially self-study. I'll say more about that, but the stuff that I talk about on the channel that you enjoy, I wanted to, and I have courses already made, but what I do is I teach them live typically, but I wanted to offer them also anytime you want that you could just take them. So if you go to my community page, which I can't show you while on StreamYard, I don't want to lose you guys. Hold on, could I? How would that work? Yeah, not time to experiment now that I'm live. You're welcome, Internet Savior. Yeah, it's very pretty. I love lotuses, especially pink and purplish lotuses. I think they go into purple. So I made a survey on my community page. Let me like hone in the ADD or ADHD or whatever. Um, so you guys know, and lately, and I'm currently teaching my mindfulness, soulful mindfulness, like that's running right now. And I could make that a standalone course, my chakra program, which I haven't taught for like 2 years, and then Awaken the Divine Feminine, which was my newest program. I taught that earlier this year. So I asked in the community, and I really am talking to you if you are, channel member, you love what I do. I asked which one would you most like me to make into a course? It would be lower cost because rather than it's more do it yourself, start at any time, right? And 50%, which is what I knew was going to happen, 50% of you chose the Divine Feminine course. And I'm like, that, and I literally put on it. This one's not ready to go yet because I taught it live. So let me talk to you a little bit about that. For me, the Divine Feminine, you guys, what I put out is I think I've put a lot of affirmations and a lot of like um, just positive speech about ourselves as women, right? For the women watching this, the goddesses watching this. So when I taught the program, I taught it some self-care, self-love. In fact, I'm going to read you a little bit of how I taught it, but basically I taught it as shamanism. Okay. I taught it as this is how you connect to spirit, to it might be a spirit guide, and then to the goddess energy, whatever goddess that is, whatever pantheon. Are you with me? Give me a yes if you're with me. That's how I taught it. Okay. Let me turn my fan off because I don't, I thought I needed it, but I don't. It's like too cool. So I taught it. It went really well. And it's something, though, that needs to be taught in person. So that's why I'm asking you, if you voted, if you were the 50%, or now that I'm talking about it, if you're interested in a program that would be self-study, it would definitely be under $100, uh, lower than that, and it would be self-study. If you're interested in divine feminine, what is it that you're specifically thinking? Because I don't feel comfortable trying to teach how to do shamanic journeying, you guys, and like kind of like trance work without me guiding you. So that's why this question. Now, 50% could have been 10 people. They may not be here. So if you're watching in the future and you voted, yes, for the Awaken the Divine Feminine, and I put self-love um, in it because I think that's what most of you are feeling when you hear divine feminine. It's a lot about loving yourself, feeling more feminine, feeling more attractive, more sensual. But again, tell me, please, because I don't want to spend the time creating it specifically and then have something different in mind than what you guys were thinking. Okay. So I'm going to pause there and ask you, yeah, how are you doing? And if there's anything you'd like me to talk about, like internet savior, um, let me know. If there's anything specifically you'd like me to talk about as you come in. So again, that's my first question. When you hear divine feminine, if you're interested in deeper training, specifically, what are you thinking? And I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna share the first class that I taught, and I wish I could show you on the screen because it's actually very beautiful. Let me see if I can. Let me see. We're gonna try this. We are gonna try this. Hold on one second here. Let's see what happens, how this works. How does that work? And then what do I do? It looks like I'm supposed to put another person. What is this? News layout. Press Shift and 5. Okay, hold on. Let me see what happens. Nothing happened. I pressed Shift and 5. What happened? Hold on. I'm going to try this. Cinema layout. Press Shift and 8. That is so weird. I'm not quite sure how to. Wait, let me see. I'm going to try one thing, guys. Present. And I'm going to go slides. But they're not preset slides. Hold on. PowerPoint. Okay. I'd have to upload. Yeah, guys, I wanted to show you a picture, but I can't figure it out. Hang on. I can't figure out how to do it in StreamYard. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to just being me. Okay. So let me tell you how I taught the Divine Feminine. I wrote that it's about embodiment for women, very much about to get us out of our brain and the logical thinking, obsessing, worrying mind, right? That especially happens to us in the West, and bring us more into our bodies. So I wrote for the Divine Feminine, let me know if this sounds like what you're interested in. I wrote that I'm weaving together 4 connections. So this I came up with myself. These are my concepts to connect with ourselves, to feel more embodied, more grounded, and building our yin, our rest and restore, building our nervous system. So that was the first connection to ourselves. The second connection was to our land around us and our surroundings. Okay, so again, very spiritual, connecting out our bodies, the land, our surroundings, like our ancestors would have. Connect to support beings in the spirit world, and that's where I talked about, and we discovered working with like a spirit ally, an animal ally, could even be a plant. And then the final part of the program, Awaken the Divine Feminine, that I taught was we spent about 4 classes, y'all, on how to connect with an aspect of the Divine Feminine. You know, whether that was Sekhmet, whether that was Diana, whether that, whatever, it might be a divine feminine you've never even heard of previously. I literally taught you how to, rather than just like teaching you these archetypes, which is how many people teach it, like, oh, this is, Mother Mary and da-da-da-da, and they give you a limit. I literally train you in how to go into your own psyche, your own energy system, your own angels and guides, and find a divine feminine manifestation that you basically develop a connection to. So let me know in comments or chat if you're watching this from the future, if that's what you're thinking when you hear divine feminine, or are you thinking more just like self-love and I'm like a goddess, but like, what does that really mean? Like, you tell me. Okay. So that is what I'd love to know. That's how I wanted to start today. So, again, if you're new here, welcome, welcome. My name is Viv. I am a certified yoga teacher for decades. I've studied meditation also for decades and bring all of that. My earring's lopsided. No, it's just my head's lopsided. Bring all of that together. There's Percival behind me. Okay, he's going to hide. There's his tail, and you can still see it. He's going to hide behind the chair. So let me know your thoughts. What is the divine feminine for you? Now, next most popular was working with the chakras and how to activate, clear. And I have a whole in-depth, that was the first in-depth program that I did. That got 33% of the votes for what I should make as a course, as a program, like self-study. And the mindfulness meditation got 14%. And yeah, so I'm just wanting your feedback on that. So I'm also really excited, though. I wanted to talk a little bit about getting ready as a woman in prime of life. And I may cut the video here. I may cut that one section. So, hey, if I did cut this in two, I want to just share about what's upcoming and my planning for going abroad. Now, if you're like me in this particular topic, I have not been traveling recently. All right. Since COVID, like COVID for me, and I don't know if for all of you, but the town I live in, I feel like people are still kind of reclusive because of COVID. All right. And so overall, obviously there are people out and about doing things, but it's not the same level of social. Hi, if you're just joining. So I have not traveled for a long time. And so I'm getting ready to go to Italy. You guys know I got my two passports. You may not all know. Again, here I got my parents' passport. So I've got my American passport and I got my Caribbean passport. And some of you may not know the Caribbean community. It is from Jamaica, but the Caribbean community, we have a community like the EU. It's an economic community. And it has like, I want to say 12 nations in it. And then I also got my American passport. And so I am going to be traveling to Europe. And, I want to just maybe talk about some things that have come up for me as a mature woman traveling solo, right? So not in my 20s, 30s, like when sorry guys, your nose always starts itching the moment you go live. So try to go live on YouTube, I dare you. So what had happened was so I've booked everything. So I'll share my plans with you. I'm going to be in Venice and I adore Venice. I've been there before in terms of traveling to Europe and traveling to Italy specifically. I love Venice. So going there, I've got my Airbnb. Then I'm going to Florence, aka Firenze, and Venice is Venezia, and trying to avoid Rome because I just didn't. I know the old saying, "All roads lead to Rome." I found Rome just interesting, vibrant, but like, yeah, I just didn't love it. I didn't love it. And then I'm also going to go to the island of Sardinia, which is very much an island of beautiful beaches, and that's what it's famed for. Are the water just crystal clear, blue, and beautiful beaches. Many of them very calm. So just wanted to share with you about that. So my nerves and how I'm going to deal with it. It may be helpful for you. Any of you, let me know if you are traveling or going to be traveling, like maybe coming up to the holidays. If you're going to go abroad, maybe to get out of the US before, the election, like what are you guys thinking? I really want to know, the folks who watch this. So that's where I'm going to be, is Venice, Florence, and Sardinia. I'm going to take you guys with me. I ordered I thought I would need better than my cell phone, But what I realized I needed is the one of the cameras on a cell phone, iPhone is great, but when you turn it, you don't hear my voice well. So I bought a little like speaker that's going to go on the phone, so you'll be able to hear me and see me, and I'll take you around with me. Now, I'm not going to spend the whole vacation filming, but definitely tune in, and I am going to travel early November. So I would say from the first, expect me abroad, and I'll do some, if the internet holds, which I also don't know, right? But it should be good. In the Airbnbs, I will do some lives for you. I may do some walkarounds and walkabouts with you. And so that's the first thing. I'm just facing fear. I mean, I'm going to write that down because I want to talk about that. Just facing fear and if you guys have any tips for me, um, but what right now, it's because I have not traveled alone before. I typically have traveled with my best friend, right? So I'm traveling alone this trip, though I really believe his spirit will be with me definitely because he adored Italy. And so that's the first thing I'm dealing with is fear, but also excitement. So on the other side of the fear, there's definitely excitement. Um, a real feeling that I'm doing the right thing, and that I think, again, to because I do think we're creating as we speak, you know, I think there are going to be places in the world that are more tumultuous and less tumultuous, as it's always been. And so I just put out to you, if you're watching this, to think about, is this perhaps a time? Listen to your inner guidance. Is this perhaps a time to take a break, go somewhere during this time in the US? And you already may be feeling it. If you're watching this, you may be feeling that for yourself. So I would say honor that. If you have fears, really look at them and see if there's something you're being called to do to shift. Okay. And again, talking especially to women who are, say, over 30, sometimes it can be harder to be adventurous, right? For some of us, because we tend to be more adventurous when you're young. Like when you're, teenagers, again, if they ever were going to be, that would be the time. When you're a teen and in your 20s, you feel more invincible. You don't really have a concept of fear in the same way, typically, right? So if you're older than like 30, 35, you may be a little bit more like cautious. So listen to the fear, look at it, and see if you can work with it. So definitely a sense of excitement. I think I told you guys I got a grant that at least pays for the airfare, which is awesome. I won that for my art based on my art concept. So I'm going to be going to do some research and going to museums and perhaps even talking to folks who are interested in this particular topic. And I'll share more as I go forward. So just kind of planning what you're going to do on your trip, is spending time doing that. That's what I'm spending a lot of time doing. And also with that, if you're making a change, let's make this, you're making some sort of change, you're definitely going to have fear. Can you see the fear is excitement, as I was just saying, and then planning like, what is it that I want to do, right? Take that step. Yeah, take that step. What are you wanting to accomplish with this change? And especially, I'm going to talk about it as a trip. Hi, Em. Welcome. Now, what, Em, first thing, like I said, I'm taking this from Stephanie Perry. You've got to say hello, and I'm glad you're here. And I think, well, you couldn't be totally new because you know that I do mini readings sometimes. Um, yeah, don't have to give me a specific question. More what, yeah. In what area is it? Is it love, relationship? Like what area of life? And I'm definitely, hey, if you're just joining, I was talking about, I'm not going to reiterate the first piece, asking if you had feedback about the divine feminine, what it means to you, so I can go forward with some plans for the channel and for our program. So that's the first part. Then I switched over to just midlife facing fears, especially travel. Hey, Thomasine. Hello, hello, hello. M says, my dear. I'm not sure what that means. So You have 4 separate questions. Just write something longer. Yes, you can ask for a reading, M. Then you wrote 1 question, love. Okay, love. Okay, it's about love. All right. I'll pull a card for you on that in a little bit. Hey, Thomasine, welcome. Welcome. Um, so dealing with fear as, as a mature woman, midlife goddess, how to deal with it. See the fear as excitement. Can you tap into the excitement, which I'm trying to do? I'm very excited about the Airbnbs. I would love to show you pictures of them. But again, since this is live, it's hard to like show you the pictures unless I went on my phone and then they're going to be tiny. But I will work it into another video. And then planning, like what is it you're wanting from the trip? If you're going to take a trip, um, you know, if are you going to take a trip? What do you want to accomplish? Okay, Em, you're giving a question. Um, yeah, you really don't have to do that. I'm going to ignore the question and just I'll pull about love for you in a little bit. Um, and so I've planned. I mentioned Thomasine, you're coming in. I'm going to be in Venice. I'm going to be in Florence, and then I'm going to go to the island of Sardinia. At one point, when I am in Sardinia, guys, I'm going to be in a place that has no internet. So we'll see how that goes. I'm a little nervous about that. And I still haven't figured out if any of you have traveled. So I also have questions on how did you deal with the fear of traveling if you had it? Any planning tips? And also, yeah, my phone American service in Europe, I see a lot of YouTubers are talking about taking out. I don't actually have a SIM card. They're like, get a SIM and stick it in the phone, and then they'll switch you over to a carrier in Europe. Because apparently American carriers, you guys, um, American carriers want to charge $10 a day, which when I first heard it, I'm like, oh, maybe that's not that much. But then I was like, wait, if you travel for 30 days, is that $300? I'm like, wait a minute, is that? It's like, oh, yeah, that doesn't sound, so it's quite expensive. It's quite expensive to use, like, um, I don't know. But so that, hey, Wilma, hi, hi, hi. So just talking about in the second part of the video about traveling and planning it. Um, so if you've traveled abroad, tell me about your fears. How did you overcome them? How did you tap into the excitement? Tell me about your planning, any planning tips. And then specifically, yeah, how'd you use your phone? I have some ideas and I don't want to bore you guys with it, but one, I can probably use my Google Voice number, which is on my laptop, and also I think it's on my phone. So I'll figure that out. And yeah, just very excited about traveling solo at my age. So Wilma, yeah, welcome. It's your first time here. You're in the UK. Welcome. I talk about energy healing, chakras, meditation, and holistic health and wellness. Hmm. Primarily. Oh, really, Thomasine? Plus your regular, no. On top of your regular monthly bill? Yeah, that's ridiculous. So I'm not doing that. Even the lady at the phone company herself, she's like, yeah, I think she told me turn off roaming. Thomasine, does that sound right? Or anybody watching this in the future? No. Or any of you guys who are here live? No. Um, Thomasine does not have to be the only expert. I think she told me turn off roaming because that's where they'll get you. And even airplane mode, guys, I see I have to look into that a little bit more. And I might Airbnb my place, which I am really on the fence about. Here's why. Airbnb my place for the first time, I have no reviews, right? Because I've never done it before. So I'm like, are people going to book with no review? And for Airbnb, it is different, right? I remember when Airbnb first started, it was like, oh, you're going to stay at Conchita's house in her little bedroom. It's so cute. She's going to talk to you. It's going to be great. Now, Airbnb, okay, now Airbnb is like hotel room quality, towels stacked, nothing in the apartment, like not anybody's real house, guys. That's what I'm seeing. And I'm like, I really Like, who lives like that, right? Airbnbs are now empty apartments. I mean, we know this, but when I see them, when I'm researching, so there's no stuff, there's no papers, there's nothing of a human living there. It is like a blank space, like a hotel room. And my space, since I live in it, I would have to spend a lot of time organizing, just getting my books looking very neat, getting everything looking very neat, hiding things. Should I even bother? Should I do it? Because the thing is, oh, well, if you Airbnb, you'll make money that can go towards your rent. What do you guys think? And yes, Thomasine, let me put that back. Most places use WhatsApp a lot more than we do here. Exactly. So one of the Airbnbs I booked in Sardinia, she's like, yeah, I'll be available to you on WhatsApp. Um, much, much bigger. I hear in Mexico and in Europe, like businesses use WhatsApp. I don't understand it though, Thomasine. Someone told me it's because you can run it on Wi-Fi. Is that true? Is that true? Those of you who are well traveled, like Wilma, do you know? Wilma, you're in the UK. Tell me, Wilma, please. So if I turn off my American phone, let's see. Okay, Thomasine's given me the here. I stayed in airplane mode in Panama with no problems. So, Thomasine, you put it in airplane mode. Were you able to use the phone though with a SIM card, Goddess? Did you go buy a local, Panamanian phone provider and put that in the phone? Let me know. And I would be completely satisfied with your answer. And that would be really helpful. Yeah, Wilma, what have you watched from my channel before? I'm really curious. You said your first time here live? But have you seen my channel before? I've only been to the UK once, Wilma, and it was when I was going to Italy years ago, and it was a stopover. And I have to tell you what I found the most cute about the UK. The houses were so tiny. Truly. Have any of you? Okay, Thomasine, thank you. Thomasine said that's correct. Okay. That is what I think I'm gonna do, just piecing it together. Airplane mode. Okay. And then put in a SIM card into the iPhone. I think that's what's going to work. If not, my backup thought is I have Google Voice. I can use that on my laptop, which I'm bringing, and I have it on the phone, and I think I can use that on Wi-Fi. So yeah, great. That's what I'm going to do. Panama. I'm so happy for you, Thomasine, with Panama. I really am. Really happy for you. So Wilma, the houses in the UK, I thought they were like adorable because they were like little. I remember them being, it's hard to explain, pointed in a different way than American houses. They look more historic. I live in upstate New York. We have houses that date to the 1800s, but I feel like these British houses were just cuter and quainter, and tiny little pointed roofs and tiny, and they just went into the ground differently. I can't explain what I mean. They just definitely looked older, and I thought they were adorable. It's like, they're so cute. Walking down the street, these are so cute. And we were looking for a good restaurant. Wilma, that's the thing. I'm not trying to diss the entire UK, but I believe I've heard that it's the Indian food that makes the UK have good food. I was looking for something with a little spice. You know what I'm saying? With some flavor, not like bland. So Thomasine says, talking about the phone, I ended up buying a Vicks Panama. Okay. You just, that's the other thing. Do I just buy? In fact, the phone company lady, you guys, she says to me, this is the American phone company. She goes, because I got her on my side. I was making her laugh. I don't even remember. I think I was like, oh, I got to buy a new phone, like a drug dealer. I can have a burner phone. Because she said, get a burner phone. I'm like, I don't know. She started laughing when I said like a drug dealer, because she's like, people just don't say that. But she's like, yeah, get a burner phone. And I'm like, all right. And I didn't want her to get in trouble because they listen to every phone call, right? She instead was being human, trying to help me figure this out, because she knows $300 is a lot to pay for the privilege of having the phone, So she's like, yeah, just get a burner phone. She's really, really, really nice. Let's see. Thomasine's giving me all the facts. Okay, so your inexpensive phone that you got in Panama, I gave you internet without Wi-Fi because traveling solo, Google Translate was a necessity. Hmm. Gave you internet but without Wi-Fi. Wouldn't you want the Wi-Fi? I feel like I'm gonna get Wi-Fi from the Airbnbs. Am I not gonna? I better get Wi-Fi from there. I call mine a burn phone. Yeah, it's a burner phone. That is what it's called. And then, oh, this is what cracked the lady up. I said, and then as I walk by a trash can, I'm gonna be throwing the burner phone in the trash can. She lost it. She just straight up started like cackling. She's just like, "You're so funny," and I'm like, I don't know. That's what I see in movies. People walk by the trash can and they're like, drop the phone and keep walking. I'm like, I'm on the up and up. So what else is going on? Like I said, and then I also brought, you guys don't laugh at me, I'm a thrift store girl. So we have a wonderful book sale at my in my town twice a year. Okay, twice a year, because we have multiple colleges, so we have a lot of professors, and it's a very crunchy town with people who read a lot. And so I got this, like, notebooks, even blank notebooks. It says Amex, whatever. I don't have Amex. It was 50 cents. This one says $1, but it was 50 cents. Just getting some black notebooks so that when I travel, right, if I'm at the museum and I need to make some notes, because that's what the award I got for my art, um, as an artist, I should say, was to go. I'll share with you guys what it is. I don't think I've shared with it before. Do you want to know what it is? What the grant that I got as an artist to go to Italy? Give me a yes if you want to know. And why I need to burn a phone and all that. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna drink my tea. If you don't want to know, like, why they gave me money to go abroad, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm gonna watch Rick and Halisi in a little bit anyway, and we should all together go check them out. They are our Black Utopia. So you guys know I'm not a travel channel, but I've always been interested. And I'll never completely be a travel channel, but I've always been interested in freedom. Freedom. And I've always been nomadic. Way before it was hip, I've always been, I'm from the Caribbean, came here in America, I moved around. I've always wanted to not so much travel around, but just the freedom to be abroad. And I think, given the climate in the US, that's what I'm trying to say to you. You may want to think about it. And if you already are thinking like that, then you're good to go. So Thomasine says it has both Wi-Fi and a data plan. 15 a month. Okay, but when you leave the Airbnb, you have to have internet for Uber rides. Right, Thomasine. I see what you're saying. So yes, I'm definitely going to get some sort of plan. That's a good point. Well, I'm going to book the Uber while I'm still in the Airbnb, then go out, but I hear what you're saying. I'm definitely going to get a little SIM card that should go in the iPhone, and I'm sure they're used to us Americans landing whatever and being like, going to their little shop and being like, "Hey, I need a SIM card." So, yeah. God, how can I show you guys? Let me think. If there's got to be some way that I can show you what cinema layout. What is cinema layout, guys? I just did cinema layout. Did anything change for you? And let me try again with present and see if it'll let me. Extra camera, slides, which I don't have prepared, share screen. Exists with 2 monitors. Share screen. Use Chrome if you'd like to share audio with your screen. Screen sharing works best on a good computer. Screen sharing is easiest with 2 monitors. I'm going to try something real quick and just see what happens. Okay, select window or screen. Okay, I'm going to do entire screen. Mute website notifications. Whoops. Wait. Are you guys, yeah, I think you are seeing. Hold on. There's one thing I don't want you to see. It's not even real. So hold on. Let me, here. Okay, yeah, probably not a good idea what I'm trying to do. Can you guys, I think you can see, whoops, can see some of the Airbnbs that I'm going to be at. I think you can still see this. So this is Venice, Cagliari. Okay, something's blocking that one, and Florence. You can't see it really good, so I'm going to stop the share. I don't think you guys saw that well. So Wilma, never see or hear about today. Let's see. Wilma says, hey, Wilma, I know I had questions for you. You came up on your feed, not on your Fed. Nothing to do with the feds. I came up on your feed. Have a look. Very mature woman, learn new things. You should buy a pay-as-you-go SIM available in your country. Huh. Now visiting and phone people through Wi-Fi. Yeah, I feel like when I'm in, chilling on the sofa after a day of sightseeing, I'm going to probably be on the Wi-Fi of the Airbnb. But I don't think I should buy the SIM in my country. Thomasine, is she right? Should I buy the SIM card here in the US, or wouldn't it make more sense to buy it abroad? I feel like it'd be cheaper, you know? I really do. But Wilma, yeah, thank you. You live in a 1905 house. Victorian, yes, yeah. The houses in England were adorable, really adorable. Tonight at, ladies gonna be on Lack to Legacy YouTube channel. Oh, okay. I'll try that and I'll promote that. So yeah, tonight at 9, one of the ladies who I met at Exodus Summit last year will be on Lack to Legacy, the YouTube channel. Both are retired educators who are now, and I'm a retired educator. Thank you for that, Thomasine. I have always been adventurous. Even if I'm scared, I still do stuff. And I know Italy, it's not like I'm going, I'm not going someplace particularly tricky, or real high levels of anything. You can definitely get pickpocketed and robbed in tourist areas in Italy, like any place like New York, so I'm not going to diss the country because it has some, generally petty crime, right? So yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, fear versus, and like I said, I'm not going to say the towns I'm going to, but in Sardinia, I'm going to like a small town. I don't know how many Black people they've seen. And I'm going there to see some ruins, okay, because I am a geek. I want to see some of these ruins that are from the Neolithic period. I don't even know how far back that is, okay? Anybody here know how old Neolithic is? And they look like beehives. They're round. Now, apparently around the world, a girlfriend of mine from Portugal is trying to tell me that Portugal has these. And I'm like, girl, no, I'm pretty sure I read before the rise of AI and fake content from human sources that these are very specific to Sardinia, the nuraghe, they're called. So they're these round, and then they kind of look like they thought they had something to do with bees. And they don't know, are they burial tombs? But they're not just only tombs. Were they sacred sites, religious sites? What were they? Okay, they're called nuraghe. And I'm fascinated by them, and I want to go see some of them. So I'm going to like one obscure town I'm supposed to go to, and just see if I can get somebody to take me to go look at these things. Okay, so I'll be looking at a pile of rubble, and I'll take you with me if I can get any internet service. And you'll be like, Viv, where are we? I'm like, okay, well, we're looking at some rocks here, people, and I'm gonna go in this little like cave. It's not really a cave because I'm not a cave person, so don't worry. But so they literally just with the rocks built them, and some of them are enclosed, but just with big rocks. Think Stonehenge, but with more rocks, okay? Stonehenge, more rocks. That's how. All right, M is hanging around because M came in not because M cares about the channel, but I can tell, but M is like, is Tobias missing me? So M, let me get my packet of cards here. Hold on. Because I wasn't gonna pull cards. It is helpful to know the name though. So knowing the name Tobias, and that better be the real name because that's what I'm going to tune into. So yeah, guys, I am so excited about this trip. I have not traveled abroad for a long, long, long time. And this has been my dream with all my passport saga. And, in Jamaica telling me your hair is gray. And so I'm like, my hair is not all gray. It is salt and pepper. Well, we can't see your hair distinct from the background. You have to take it again. Oh, my Lord. And then me going to buy a wig, the wig not fitting on my head. Then I'm like, wait a minute. I'll leave my hair white, but they're like, make the background blue. I'm like, Jamaica, okay? America doesn't take passport photos with a blue background. Finally, me just dyeing my hair, which I did not want to do because of the chemicals, the toxins. My channel is all about health, yet here I had to dye my hair jet black to take the damn passport photo. So it's been a while, and America came through very quickly. And that's my other message, is that when we're on the right track, and I'm really feeling that I'm on the right track now, I'm going to focus more on my art, and I am going to make a video about how can we know what is the way we are to make money, because this is something I've been thinking about a lot. And let me do one more shuffle. Is that Spirit puts like a gift in each of us, and it is the way we're supposed to earn our living and be supported. And I'm going to make a video about that. Give me a yes, or if you're interested in that, and just like almost what I would call your rightful abundance. I have to come up with a phrase for that, but yeah. Okay, so this is for I'm going to pull a card. Wilma, if you're new here, I do occasionally do I do readings, but I don't do like just I'm a tarot reader and just do readings constantly. I do them privately, and I like to do them one-on-one. Sometimes I'll do a quick one for folks live. So M came in, and M, it's her question is about love. And so I'm just going to get real quiet. And Wilma, if you'd like me to pull a card for you, I will as well. Sometimes I just pull one card. I'm going to see what I get. And I'm going to clear Wilma out of my mind, because that was the last name I was saying. It's for M. This is for M, who wants to know about Tobias. Okay. Okay. So M, you're a very emotional woman. Because this card, I literally just pulled like this and came up. So I'm literally just seeing it in the reflection. So yeah, you're very emotional. You're very, very caring, loving. You may work with taking care of children or animals. Like, your emotions and giving love is very important to you. So that's interesting, right? Anyway, those of you who read tarot, like, the cups are very much about emotions. And this is a very balanced woman who comes from her emotions, from her heart. So that's really interesting. So I'm going to pull some more for you. And you are concerned with love. You are concerned with love, right? It's interesting. Look at her there. Let's see. And then you wrote something about no contact, his thoughts. I don't do that. So you can find like kind of these cheap exploitative readers who do that. I'm going to do focused on you. I don't try to like, what's he thinking? Because that's irrelevant. What is it that you desire and what's best for you? You're the one who, if you were paying me, you're the one I work for. And the next card is this. Okay, wow. So there's some sense, I don't know if this is you or him with just this, but the person is recovering from feeling really pretty battered. I mean, you can see that here, right? From battling. There's some sense of, I would say, recovering from, again, I'd have to pull more cards, that recovering from difficulty, from fighting, from something that felt like a battle. And I say recovering from because I pulled it upside down. They could also be looking at, and again, I'm going to read this as you because it's right behind the Queen. There was some sense that there was a a battle. It was just emotionally draining is the sense I'm getting. This 9 is when the person has it's just been a struggle, and it could be changes about to come if it were upright, but reversed, I read it as that there's a sense of kind of exploring why was this so difficult? Why did this happen? And weariness is also what I get very much from that. Um, Weariness about, in this case, I'm tuning into you, as I said, like weariness. I'm going to pull finally an angel card. So this card definitely represents you, balanced, but there is some sense of fatigue, drained to this whole situation, M. And again, I'm going to read it that it's on your side because I don't, as a rule, like to try to read other people who didn't like consent. Does that make sense? It's about you. So it could still be that's how they're feeling, for you to know, but I don't try to like get into other people's psyche. And the angel with you is upside down, freedom. Aha, so there's some sense of a lack of freedom. Okay, I don't know if it's you or I think you said Tobias, not feeling free. So it sounds like there's still some sort of hooks in place, some energetic hooks is what I'm getting. Even the fact that you asked this question, M, are you still with me? The fact that you asked this question tells me, and the question they asked was, I'll put on screen, is Tobias missing me? His thoughts, no contact. I appreciate it. So we got the Queen of Cups, which is a very balanced woman, a woman who is in her heart center. And then the Nine of Wands, but reversed. So as I said, I get weariness after some conflict. And I'm going to link that with that woman, with that queen. And then the card of freedom, but it was upside down. So there's still, it just feels like things are not resolved completely. The ties haven't been cut completely. You or they are not feeling completely free of the relationship at this point. So that's what I can tell you at this point. So yeah, I'm going to put that back. So as always, guys, give me topics you want me to talk about. I did say I was going to be doing more on the chakras, a fresh series on the chakras and energy healing. I am available for energy healing. Hang on, let me take this down. As you know, I've been meditating and practicing yoga for decades, and I do have this ability to tune into the person from a distance, and that is on my website. Let me give you the link for that. And I have testimonials about the work. People are reporting. It's been women so far that I've worked on. It's a chakra energy healing. I don't like to use the word healing for a variety of reasons, but I'm going to put this. They have told me they have felt their energy shifting literally when I'm working on them during the session. They felt different chakras tingling or pulsing. They felt warmth in the areas that I was working. I work with my guides and I work with your higher self. And so I put the link for that. That is a service that I'm really wanting to get out there more. And this price is not the final price, so it is going to go higher. So if you're at all interested in energy healing, I've worked with women who were having work difficulties. I followed up with one woman and she said it is getting clearer, it's unraveling, it's shifting. When I do the energy healing also, I then do a short reading. So it's an hour session, and I then pull cards based on having connected with your energy and related to what is holding you back. So if you feel held back in any way, if you feel stuck in any way, then that's when I would recommend my energy healing as a service. The energy alchemy sessions are what I call them. All right. I'll put them in the chat. Yeah, they're called energy alchemy. Alchemy, I use that word a lot for those of you who might be new to me. It implies change and taking what is difficult or ugly or unpleasant or harmful and making it into something positive, making it literally into gold was the idea of alchemy. Yeah. Oh yeah, Wilma, I did it. It was crazy. Yeah, like I said, there's so many things on the internet. So there's so many scams that I really almost don't want to hold up my picture. Even though you're seeing my face live, but so the Jamaican passport picture came out looking good because it's very clear. They were really rigid about how the photo should look. The American photo, and Thomasine, tell me if you noticed this. The American passport, the photo is like cased in plastic, and so the photo itself is not that clear. Thomasine, did you notice that, or anybody watching this who had their photo taken for their passport? And my friend nailed it. She goes, "Yeah, the photo isn't even. It's the security of the actual document that they care about because there's all these like security measures on it and reflections and see through. It would be hard to copy unless you truly had a big organization copying passports. So my friend's like, yeah, the photo isn't even, like." The Jamaican passport is more, it's just like it's a simple photo. It's like, oh yeah, that's her. The American one is like all these like it probably has my life history embedded in it. Who knows? So Wilma, I will pull a card for you, yes, and Thomasine. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do Thomasine first. Thomasine, I'm gonna go with the Osho deck for you. I don't know why. And then I am gonna go, oh my lord, okay. I'm gonna go because I do want to watch, I think it's Rick and Halisi. Thomasine. See, and this is why I often don't do readings for folks who are not regular in the community. Did you leave? Folks will pop in. I probably do it too. They pop in. They're like, oh, is that a tarot reader? Oh, I'll get a card pulled. You guys, it takes energy to do this because I literally it's like I expend a burst of my own like psychic energy to do this. And so I don't like to do it for folks if I don't feel like they're regular channel viewers or whatever. But Thomasine, I have no problem reading for you. And typically what I do is I come down to my third chakra. Thomasine, this is what wants to come up for you. Wow. Thomasine, this is what you got. Exhaustion. I hate when I pull this card for myself. Look at this guy. The card is like you're pushing yourself, you're working way too hard. You need to stop. You need to stop. You're exhausted. That's what you got, Thomasine. I'm going to pull 2 cards on either side for you. So yeah, if you're still here, tell me if what I shared was helpful or resonates. And we'll see if they're still here. So Thomasine, exhaustion. It's also very much about the mind. You have too much going on, too many activities, too much busyness, and you need to slow down. Okay? You need to slow down. I'm going to pull a card to the left and to the right. The card to the left is, oh my gosh, temperance. This is about balance. Look at the angel is pouring water from one cup to the other. One foot is on land, one foot is in the water. You need to find balance, which I know you are doing. That's on the left side, and let's pull on the right. Yeah, you're exhausting yourself. This card kind of wants to spin. Let's see what it is. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so you need to spend more time looking within, Thomasine. You need to hermit. And guys watching this, her question is a big question. Why? Because she got 2 major arcana cards. The hermit is a major arcana card, and temperance, meaning this is a major life issue she's asking me about. It's not something superficial. So Thomasine, let me know how this hits you. So these are the cards. I pulled 3 cards for you. In the center, you are exhausted. You're exhausted. And then you got this card, as I said, could spin. Should be, you need to spend more quiet time. And I read it upside down, which is the way I pulled it, as you're not spending enough time looking within. It can also mean you're spending too much time, but I doubt that with the other cards. With the card saying you're exhausted and with the card saying you need to balance. So you need to look at how can you bring more balance into your life? and you need to look within to help with your exhaustion because you're wearing yourself out. If you keep going like that, you will burn yourself out, goddess. Okay, Thomasine, let me know how that resonates for you. So you need to find ways that balance, sleep. I am just things that calm you, that center you. You need to cut down on your stimulation, is my strong sense. Yes, what your friend said about the passport. Yep. True, true, true. So Thomasine, give you a chance to type in. Notice you also, your message came in at 333. 333 has been really significant for me lately as an angel number. Thomasine says, yes, you are correct. So goddess, you have to stop. You're trying to do too much, and you may be saying to yourself, my sense of you is you're saying to yourself, oh, my family needs me to do this, they need me to do that. In Jamaica, we have a saying, running around like a chicken, with the head cut off, like just like that. So you need to stop even saying it's other people need this from you, and really look at you need rest. You need more introspection to look within yourself. What are your needs? And that temperance card. And it is important, or you wouldn't have gotten two major arcana cards. You wouldn't have gotten temperance and the hermit. I get it as a real call for quiet for you. You need more quiet. And in that quiet, you will see your mind and your emotions and your thoughts. Yeah. So she says, yes, that's very correct. And then especially when you added the part, exhaustion of the mind. Yeah. Okay. So yes, the meditation will help. Maybe getting more sleep, even building in some naps. I'm just giving you the basics. Watch your food and cut out sugar as best you can. So Wilma, I'm going to pull a card for you, and then I'm going to go. So I'm just going to pull an angel card. Now, the angel cards are often very powerful for people. They will tell me it's one card, it's one word, but I'll tease it out a little bit for you. Okay, Wilma? So I'm reaching in, and I'm just shuffling them a little, and this is the card that wants to come out. It's upside down. Truth. Wow. So there's something where you're not quite telling the truth to yourself or others. Is my fingernail dirty? It looks like it is, but it really isn't. It's just, and I don't do long nails. Maybe from art. I've been cleaning. So Wilma, what is it that you need to tell someone the truth? But my sense is it might be yourself. You need to admit the truth to yourself about a situation. Does that? Yeah, Thomasine, exactly. Thomasine says, I'll take more time to meditate and release. Yeah. The busyness is masking some deeper healing that you need to continue doing. Yeah. So find, how can you balance? Is it balance for you going in nature, going for walks? Maybe you go for a walk with music on, or maybe you go for a walk where you can hear the birds. I like to hear the nature when I'm walking, Thomasine. Or is it for you to sit by the water? I love the sound of flowing water. It calms me down within a few minutes. Something like that. Only natural stimulation, I would say. So for you, I would cut down on media. This is a really important thing. Many of us are getting overstimulated with media. Too much YouTube, especially too many shorts, TikTok. Though many of you listening, when you constantly get stimulation, that literally wears out your mind. It wears out your mind. Okay? Science is realizing that and calling it, oh, it increases distractibility. Holistic systems for thousands of years have said that too much stimulation or use of the senses, that could be reading, that would have been back in the day, but now we have movies, now we have video games, now we have VR. It's going to lead to more mental illness and an increased inability to concentrate and to learn. I'm predicting this here. If we don't stop it now, or literally put warnings on things like VR games, right? And letting your kids game for hours a day, you're literally harming your child's mind. Okay? And you need to pay attention to that. She says, I'm going to the water. Beautiful. So Wilma, are you here? Wilma, there's a truth, and you got the card upside down. So there's some sense that you need to share a truth with yourself or with others. My sense is it's you. There's something that you need to be truthful about. It could be your feelings, your true thoughts, but there's a lie. There's an untruth, and you need to kind of expose that. You need to expose that. Honestly, yeah. Honestly, yeah. I'm not sure to which Deb were you saying that? So again, come to me for either a plain reading, but what I'm doing more is the energy healing. So for example, yeah, Wilma says, yeah, please and thank you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course. Yeah, you were in here and you watched and you didn't just pop in and leave. So that resonates with you, Wilma? Let me know. Let me know that I mean, I got the thank you, but that resonates for you. You're aware of what it is, that there's a truth that you need to face. It could be in anything. It could be about a relationship that needs to shift or change or end. It could be about a habit that needs to shift or change, and something where the truth is there, but it's not being fully acknowledged, Wilma. Yeah. So again, the energy alchemy sessions, check them out. I believe the price is set now at $150, and it will help you move from however you're stuck. It'll help get you unstuck. It involves an energy clearing where you're just laying there resting. It's a distance energy healing. And then in about the last 20 minutes, I do a short reading. And then we talk about it, what I saw, felt in your energy field, and then looking at the divination as to what you want to, what is your advice going forward? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, about the harm that technology. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Becky G takes a week off from social media every month. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like, am I Becky? I don't know who Becky G is. Um, but yeah, the fact our brains don't work that way, even with AI, which I am using for some things, I can clearly see what the downsides will be. I won't articulate them in this video, but even with ChatGPT, if it's producing content, it's regurgitating and then it's going to be learning from itself. The more we add more ChatGPT to the web, the more it's learning from itself. And eventually, instead of producing almost like in this metaphor, it would produce real numbers. Like say it's adding numbers, the numbers are genuine. But when we're refeeding it, the information back in, it's going to get blurrier and blurrier. The information is going to be less and less accurate. Um, and that is going to happen. Oh, okay. She's a Latina artist. Okay. I love that. So a week out of the month, I think that's good because that can refresh your brain. Yeah. You will see it. I promise you. We're already seeing it. It's already, we've had a generation now. I'm pretty sure we've had more than one generation that grew up with the child with the phone like this. Notice they can't speak as well to their friends. They feel isolated. They feel separate. They feel different. Their whole ability to form relationships is damaged. So we've already let one generation go with that. Now, the people who didn't have that problem are going to eventually die out. And then think about it. That generation that was troubled, that literally didn't learn a lot of interpersonal things and like become a whole person, they're now going to be the elders and leading. You can see that's going to be like this. All right. And again, I'm not trying to be negative, but the implications are really pretty scary unless we now, all of us can agree that these technologies past a certain point are harmful to our minds and that they need a limit the same way we realized smoking was bad, right? Back in the day, doctors would smoke. I mean, they literally had doctors showing in cigarette ads, right? And even when my mother was alive, I would find her doctor outside the hospital smoking. Okay. You don't see that anymore. I don't see that anymore. We used to think it was okay. The companies told us it was okay, and it was accepted in the society. We slowly saw that this was bad. It gives cancer, throat cancer, cancer of the esophagus, lung cancer, and we slowly stopped it. With the technology, it is even more seductive, but we really have to pray and individually take action to limit our exposure because it is harmful. It's harmful literally on the level of just our eyes. It's harmful on the level of our brain processing. We cannot process so much information. That's why there is this rise in ADD and ADHD and the implications of that. Who are going to be our teachers? Who's going to fly our airplanes? Who's going to be the air traffic controller that is completely focused? Who is going to be the mathematicians? So we're literally, you know, eroding our society with an overuse of technology, especially in younger people. That is coming from my intuitive, predictive, um, higher self. Yeah. Deborah says, I've only seen one doctor. Ah, okay. I see, I knew it when I said it. I was like, somebody's gonna have seen a doctor. Yeah, yeah. It wasn't uncommon back in the day, right? And it was interesting also, the doctor was quite overweight and smoking. Obviously, if you're the doctor, you're overweight and you're smoking, you can't really talk to your patient about like health, right? It's very hard to get them to listen to you if you're clearly not listening to you, right? My dear mom died from cancer of the esophagus. Cancer of the esophagus is a relatively rare cancer. The rates are much higher if you do two things, not just one. If you drink, it's higher. And if you, oh, I won't do the middle finger. And if you smoke, it's higher. If you do both, if you drink and you smoke, the rates of cancer of the esophagus go much higher because you're irritating the tissue there. You're constantly exposing it to carcinogens. And so back in the day, doctors would still go out and smoke, you know. So Wilma does say, very interesting, this resonates. Okay, it's some truth. So Wilma, back to Wilma got the card truth. It may be something that you're still kind of discovering, but I would ask you, what is true for you that maybe you're not sharing or telling yourself or telling someone else? There's some truth, and it may be something you uncover even after you get off of this video with me. It may be something that comes to light. Yeah. Not, not to scare you, but I'm just thinking of how that card could play out, the truth, that there's an untruth. So maybe somebody told you something, it turns out not to be true. It turns out not to be true. But like I said, when I first pulled it, I got that it's truth for you, like your internal truth. Is there an internal truth you're not sharing? Like how you feel about someone or about how someone is treating you. That was how it first hit me. All right. All right, beautiful ones. I am going to rest now. And actually, this is, if you are going to do social media, again, don't do the TikTok where it's just going like this or the Instagram where it's like this. When I watch a video, it's people who I feel like I like and I know and I like the topic. Okay, so it's kind of better than watching like a fake Hollywood movie. So I'm going to go check out, I think it's Our Black Utopia right now. Yes, I accidentally got cut off. Much love to you guys. Your inner child. Okay, Wilma says my inner child. All right. The truth and your inner child could be bringing forward for you. Yeah. So thank you guys for being here. The internet savior, Thomasine. Thomasine, thanks so much for all the feedback on the phone. Hopefully I'll remember what you told me. Wilma, nice to see you. Hope to see you again. I'm usually live on Sundays. We'll see when I'm traveling. Deborah, nice to see you. All right, bye for now, guys. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend. Unless you're watching from Asia, in which case it's already Monday. You're welcome, Thomasine. And really take the advice to heart because, like I said, you got two major arcana. This means it's a big life issue. This isn't like, oh, should I go to Target and get something? This is like bigger. So you're truly exhausted. You truly need to, right now, not in the future, find some ways to balance your days, whether that's more sleep, whether that's not talking to a certain family member, Thomasine, drawing a boundary and say, you know what, I can talk to you, but I turn in by 8 o'clock so I can, give some boundaries to other people, Thomasine. Don't just be there for them all the time and let them run you ragged. All right. Much love. Peace. Bye.